Adventist Home 127, paragraph
Adventný domov
2.
127, druhý odstavec.
We read that the flesh of itself cannot act contrary to the
Čítali
will of
sme,
God.
že telo samé o sebe
And
nemôže
we've now
konať
established,
proti Božej vôli.
hopefully to
A teraz sme
everyone's satisfaction and
ukázali,
agreement, that the flesh is not the body,
dúfam, že s tým môžete súhlasiť,
is not the
že to,
moral
kde sa v
component
Biblii hovorí o
of the
tele,
nature
to
of
nie je
man.
fyzické telo a
You would agree with
fyzické
that?
telo
Any
nie je
questions on
morálnou
that?
súčasťou
So we've
prírodzenosti
moved the
človeka.
heart from the moral to
Súhlasíte?
the what Ellen White terms
Prešli
physical
sme od
in the passage that we
srdca
read, but it's not really
tomu,
the physical, it's
ako
not the
Ellen Whiteová
body.
nazýva
It's
fyzické,
the part
že
of
to
the
nie je
human
vlastne
nature
to
that
fyzické telo,
controls
ale je
or
to
has its
časť,
seat in the body.
je
It
to
interacts with
časť
the world through the body,
prírodzenosti
through the five
človeka,
senses.
ktorá má svoje
And
sídlo v
we've
tele
said that this flesh is emotion, and
a
we gave some examples
ovláda
here. In
vlastne
and of
telo
themselves, there's
skrze
nothing wrong with having
emócie.
emotions. In fact, we're required to have emotions.
Samotné
Why?
emócie, na nich nie je nič zlé. My máme mať emócie.
Sorry?
Prečo? Prečo máme mať emócie?
Because we were created in the image of God.
Pretože sme stvorení na Boží
Because God
obraz
has all of these emotions. He has
a
flesh.
On má tieto
He
emócie.
has lower passions.
Má
Therefore,
tieto
we have to
telesné
as well.
emócie, nižšie vášne
But
a preto ich máme
obviously
aj my.
something's gone wrong in our nature. That people think a lot
Ale
of these
niečo
things are
sa v
negative. In
našej
fact, they are
prírodzenosti
used
porušilo.
for negative purpose.
A mnoho z týchto vecí
So, it
sú
says
používané na negatívny
Of
účel.
itself, it
Píše
cannot
sa
do
tam,
something. Therefore, it needs
že
some
telo
help.
samé o sebe
So we just want to read a
nemôže,
couple of statements before we
nemôže
start looking
konať.
at what help
Potrebuje
that it
nejakú
needs
pomoc.
to do
A
something.
chceme sa pozrieť na niektoré výroky, čo vlastne potrebuje ako
Let's
pomoc
read
to
Education
telo, aby konalo.
14.4.
Poďme sa pozrieť do knihy Výchova 14, 4. odstavec, Výchova 14.4.
Book Education 14.4. As you turn into it, I'll just read the paragraph before.
Ako si tam otvárate
I'll
knihu,
read two
prečítam ten
paragraphs before.
odstavec
In the
predtým.
knowledge of God, all true knowledge and real development have their source. Wherever we turn in the physical, the mental,
Všetko
or the
skutočné
spiritual realm,
poznanie
and
a
whenever we
skutočný
behold,
rozvoj má
apart
svoj
from the blight
zdroj.
of sin, this knowledge is revealed. Whatever line of investigation we pursue with a sincere purpose to arrive at truth, we are brought in touch with the unseen, mighty intelligence that
akúkoľvek
is working
líniu
in and
výskumu
through all. The mind of man is
vezmeme
brought into communion with the
so
mind of God,
skutočným
the
zámerom, aby
finite
sme
with the
prišli k
infinite.
pravde,
The effect of such communion on body and
prichádzame
mind
do
and
styku
soul
s neviditeľnou
is beyond
inteligenciou.
estimate. Is everybody there? Read 14.4.
A efekt
I
na
just read
dušu,
14.2.
keď duša má spoločenstvo s Bohom, to sa nedá ani doceniť
In
alebo
this communion
vysvetliť.
is found the highest education. It is God's own
V tomto
method of development.
spoločenstve
Equate now thyself with Him.
nájdeme
22:21.
najvyššiu
In His
výchovu
message
a
is His message
Boží
to
spôsob
mankind. The
metódy
method outlined in
rozvoja.
these words was the method followed in the education of the Father of our race, when the glory of sinless
Jeho
manhood,
posolstve
when in the glory of sinless manhood,
jeho
Adam
posolstvo
stood in holy
človeku.
Eden. It was thus that God instructed him. In order to understand what is comprehended in the work of education, we need to consider both the nature of man and the purpose of God in creating him. We need to consider also the change in man's condition through the coming in of a
Adam
knowledge of
stál
evil,
vo svetom
and
Edene
God's plan for still fulfilling
Boh
his
ho
glorious
vyučoval.
purpose in the education of the human race. So the point I wanted to pick up
musíme
there
zvážiť prírodzenosť
was
človeka a Boží
second
zámer
sentence.
v tom,
We
prečo ho
need
Boh
to
stvoril.
Consider also
A
the change
musíme
in man's
zvážiť, aká
condition
zmena
through the
nastala v
coming
stave
in of a
človeka
knowledge of
skrze to,
evil.
že prišlo poznanie zla.
So what does that mean?
Takže tejto vety by som sa chcel teraz dotknúť. Čo to znamená? Takže musíme pochopiť, aká zmena nastala, keď človek poznal zlo. A aká je prirodzenosť človeka a aký bol Boží zámer so stvorením človeka.
Adam's mind in a way that changed our condition.
Teraz tam prebieha diskusia, oni odpovedajú na nejaké otázky.
From the tree of knowledge and evil.
Takže ty hovoríš o tom, ako prišlo poznanie zla z toho stromu, poznania dobrého a zlého. Ešte niekto chce niečo povedať?
Where Adam was in the sinless condition to where we are in the fallen condition, and God's plan for fulfilling His purpose in the restoration back.
Can we get that? Could you repeat that? I can't hear you.
On tam diskutuje s nimi, to sa tak ťažšie počuje, čo hovoria tí študenti.
Adam's sinless condition, and then to where we fell into the sinful condition.
Takže môžeme zvážiť Adamov bezhriešný stav, to je odpoveď tam z toho od študentov. Zmenili sa jeho emócie.
Does everybody agree with that, or any more comments?
Ešte nejaké komenty?
I think the following paragraphs explains what you're asking.
The ones that come after? So, in this passage,
takže v tejto pasáži
we know that there was a change in man's condition.
Vieme, že je zmena v stave človeka. Takže tomu rozumieme.
The coming in of a knowledge of evil. What is this knowledge that he received?
Keď prišlo poznanie toho zla. Aké poznanie vlastne dostal Adam, keď zjedol to ovocie?
What does that mean? So it says the knowledge
of evil.
What is the knowledge specifically that he's receiving? That he's
Čo to je to poznanie? O čom je to poznanie?
Now or coming to?
Pán Boh nechce, aby to zlo poznal. The lower corrupt nature.
They were naked.
What do you mean the lower corrupt nature?
The attributes of the God didn't.
Rozprávajú o tej nižšej prirodzenosti.
You mean like God didn't want us to hate things?
No, not in that sense, but the opposite end of the good part, the evil, the results of sin.
Okay, my sister.
If they were naked.
They now have a knowledge that they were naked, but they weren't naked before.
Takže teraz mali poznanie, že sú nahí, ale veď oni boli nahí aj predtým.
They probably were, but they didn't know it.
Boli nahí, či neboli?
So if I looked at you and
tam jedna hovorí, že boli nahí, ale nevedeli to?
Naked then?
We don't know.
Well, if they were naked, how come they wouldn't know it?
Because they had the glory of God covering them.
So
ak by boli nahí, prečo by to nevedeli?
Or you're even suggesting that. No, I'm not
ja hovorím, že nahí neboli.
You're saying that they weren't naked. I mean, they knew they weren't naked because they couldn't see each other's body.
Right.
So they don't know that they're naked now. They actually are naked now, aren't they? And they weren't before.
Teraz sú nahí a
So
predtým
it can't be
neboli.
knowledge of that because they were never naked before.
Ale toto nie je poznanie toho. Pán prikrýval tú ich nahotu, sláva Božia prikrývala ich nahotu.
They saw that they were naked after the glory was taken away from them.
Brother Jonathan?
Potom uvideli, že sú nahí, keď tá sláva bola odňatá. Teraz ďalšia odpoveď. Po hriechu mali novú skúsenosť. Vedeli, že urobili niečo zlé.
So, this knowledge, where do we place it?
Takže toto poznanie, kam ho umiestníme?
The intellect, the moral, or the physical? When they have a knowledge,
dáme ho do, čo máme tie tri zložky, morálna, fyzická alebo intelektuálna. Aké poznanie získali?
So, understanding, knowledge, reason, what did they not know before?
Porozumenie, poznanie,
shame is an emotion.
Schopnosť,
I don't think it's factual information. Shame is what you feel.
Schopnosť dávať argumenty. Čo vlastne oni získali nové, čo predtým nemali?
You mean before they didn't know that?
They didn't know the separation from God.
Je tu niečo, čo predtým nevedeli?
I think you're saying they didn't experience it. I think that's what you're saying.
Myslím, že je rozdiel, že nevedeli a nemali skúsenosť.
Sorry?
Čo vedeli predtým, ako jedli?
And what would happen if
Oni
they
vedeli,
did
že
it?
to je nesprávne.
They knew it. They knew they were
A že
going to.
čo by
So
sa
they didn't get any
stalo,
more
ak to
information
spravia?
afterwards, did they?
Oni vedeli, že zomrú. Oni toto poznanie
So
mali.
is the knowledge this, even though it uses the word knowledge?
Takže to poznanie, ktoré získali nové, kde bolo to poznanie umiestnené, to nové poznanie?
State of understanding and knowledge. She said they did, but that higher state of knowledge and understanding was that it was foolishness or folly to disobey God and along those lines.
Their experience.
Tí študenti sa zle prekladajú, lebo to aj zle počuť.
Knowledge is different than experience. So they knew
Poznanie je iné ako skúsenosť.
But no, they had an experiential knowledge of what evil is.
Mali skúsenostné poznanie
Let's go to
toho zla.
Genesis 2:17.
Poďme sa pozrieť do Genesis 2.17. 1. Mojžišova 2.17.
For of the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. So they've all the knowledge of that. They understand that. They know what's going to happen if they
Ale zo
do
stromu
whatever
vedenia
they're
dobrého
not
a
supposed
zlého
to do.
nebudeš jesť, lebo
Let's go
toho dňa,
forward one
ktorého by si
chapter.
jedol z neho, istotne zomrieš. Toto poznanie oni mali. Oni vedeli, že zomrú. Poďme ďalej
So
jednu
this is what my
kapitolu.
sister was saying. Genesis 3:7.
Genesis 3.7.
And the eyes of them were opened. This is after they've eaten.
Vtedy sa otvorili oči
So
obidvoch
something I've not
a
even
poznali,
listed.
že sú nahí. Takže vidíme, že poznali, že sú
3:7.
nahí.
And the eyes of them were both open, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed
A
fig leaves
naviažúc z
together
fikového
and made
lístia spravili
themselves
si zástery.
aprons. So it talks about knowing, knowledge. So is there something that they now have
Takže
some
oni
intellectual
získali
understanding
určité
that they
poznanie.
realized?
Znamená
They
to,
don't
že
have
intelektuálne
any
niečo
covering.
pochopili, že si uvedomili, že
So
už nemajú
to
na
answer that,
sebe
let's go to one
oblečenie?
chapter forward to
Aby sme to zodpovedali,
Genesis
poďme sa
4:1.
pozrieť ešte jednu kapitolu dopredu. 1. Mojžišova 4, 1. verš. A Adam poznal Evu, svoju ženu, a
So here
počala
it
a
says, and
porodila
Adam
Kaina.
knew his wife, sorry,
A
and Adam
riekla,
knew Eve, his wife,
nadobudla som
and she
muža s
conceived and
Hospodinom.
bare Cain, and said, I've gotten a man from the
Takže
Lord.
Adam poznal
So,
Evu.
This new in Genesis 4:1 is the same new in Genesis
Toto
3:7.
poznanie Evy
And what's the
je
new
presne to isté
in Genesis
poznanie,
4:1
ako sme
talking
predtým
about?
čítali v 3. kapitole.
When it says, and
O čom
Adam knew
hovorí
his
Genesis
wife.
4.1? Že Adam poznal
Sorry?
svoju ženu.
This is intimacy, isn't it? This is when they sleep
Toto
together.
je
This is not, he just
intimita.
never knew about her before.
To není, že niečo sa o nej dozvedel.
The challenge that came to Adam and Eve is that they could be like gods. So the knowledge that the serpent wanted to give them is that you don't have to be submitted to God, but you can be like God and you can be like me because I'm an animal and yet I have the wisdom of God and I can speak. And so this is exactly what Adam and Eve did, and through the experience of having their senses stimulated, they felt that
Adam
they were
mal
on a higher
určitú
elevation
skúsenosť.
and they felt like gods.
Yeah, it's all emotions. That's the point I want to make is it's not
To sa celé
intellectual
deje na
information
úrovni emócií.
when it talks about
To nie sú
knowledge
intelektuálne
in
informácie.
Genesis and the comment that Ellen
Keď
White's
sa
making, even though
hovorí
it
o
appears to
tom,
be.
že poznal
So we
Evu,
could go to Genesis
alebo keď sme
4:17,
čítali, že poznali, že sú nahí.
4:25.
Mohli by sme ísť
All of
pozrieť
these
do
are talking about
4.25,
an
Genesis
experience that you
4.25.
have in.
Všetky
One
tieto
flesh
slova
experience. It's not about
sú o
information, because all
poznaní
these people knew their wives
skúsenostnom. Je to
before. And
skúsenosť,
it's obvious
to
in
nie je
Genesis
informácia.
4:25 because Adam knew his wife again.
V Genesis
It's
4.25
not talking
znova
about
Adam poznal
intellectual
svoju ženu
knowledge.
a
So
ona
when I come
počala.
back to
To nie je
passage that we're
intelektuálne
reading, we
poznanie.
need to consider Education
Takže keď sa
14:4.
vrátime naspäť do tej
Also
pasáže,
the
ktorú
change
sme
in man's
čítali,
condition through the coming in of a knowledge
výchova,
of evil. So this word knowledge is what?
že musíme
They knew about
zvážiť
evil long
stav
before.
človeka, ako
It's an
sa zmenil
experience of evil
potom,
that they're having.
ako poznali zlo.
Can we all
Takže tú skúsenosť, ktorú získali, je skúsenosť hriechu.
People read the Spirit of Prophecy and they say, I'm going to read it just as it's written. And they use that as a mark of humility.
A oni to chcú čítať presne, ako je to napísané. A používajú to ako taký prejav pokory.
It's a sign of ignorance, I think. If we just read things literally as they're
Ale ja by som povedal, že to je skôr znak nevedomosti, keď čítame veci len doslovne. My musíme použiť aj určitý zdravý rozum, keď prichádzame k Božiemu slovu. Za to, že tam vidíme slovo poznanie, to neznamená, že to znamená intelektuálne poznanie. To znamená skúsenosť. Musíme tomu rozumieť v kontexte.
Because the word new is from the word I knew you, I had knowledge of you.
To slovo, že poznali, že sú nahý, a to slovo, že Adam poznal Evu, je vlastne rovnaké. Je to skúsenostné poznanie. To není, že sa spolu stretli.
It's an experience that they're having. They have that, now they have an experience that this is what happens when you separate from God.
A pochopili, že toto sa stane, keď sa oddelíte od Boha.
So it's not like they look in the mirror and they say, oh, I don't have any light now. Now they're experiencing something.
To není, že už si všimli, že aha, ja už nemám oblečenie. Oni naozaj niečo hlboko prežívali.
Yes.
Was she X?
You've got to turn back if you're going to speak, I think.
Does that experience lead to knowledge?
Tam je otázka, či skúsenosť vedie k poznaniu.
You cannot have a feeling without having a thought first. This is just the process of our body works. And the way you're experiencing is through your senses.
Nemôžeme mať pocit predtým, ako nemáme myšlienku. Naše telo funguje tak, že myšlienky produkujú pocity.
Let's go back 2 paragraphs, 14.2. In the knowledge of God, all true knowledge and real development have their source. Wherever we turn, in the physical, the mental, or the spiritual realm. Go to 14.5. When Adam came from the Creator's hand, he bore in his physical, mental, and spiritual nature a likeness to his Maker. God created man in his own image. Here she's using different terminology. She's using physical, mental, and spiritual. Yeah? So I want to put here where it says mental, moral, spiritual.
Takže tu na to slovo, kde sa píše
do we agree with that? That's where it would go.
Mentálne.
Because the mental would go here. Intellectual is mental.
Morálne je vlastne duchovné. Intelektuálne to je mentálne.
So that's giving us a secondary definition of what these things are referring to.
To je druhá definícia toho, čo znamenajú tie slova. Môže byť?
I'm still at the new in Genesis 4:1.
Okay.
Somehow it sounds as it would be bad to have that Adam knew his wife.
You think that's bad?
That's how I understood it now.
From whom? From your reading or I'm saying something?
Yeah, what we said in the last 5 minutes.
What badness have you taken from that?
It seems like that Adam knew not his wife before the fall of man.
Teraz tam jeden hovorí, že vyzerá to, že pred pádom človeka Adam nepoznal svoju ženu.
I'm saying this because in Genesis 1:28 they get the command be fruitful and multiply. So somehow
Genesis 1:28 majú príkaz sa množiť.
I have no idea when they first have intimacy, whether it's before or after sin.
Parminder hovorí, ja netuším, kedy oni prvýkrát mali intimný vzťah. Did I intimate that intimacy with your wife is negative? I didn't mean to. I don't think I did.
Intellectual knowledge. You're pointing out that it's some kind of experimental.
Ja som nemienil robiť niečo negatívne z intimného života.
3, 7, 4, 1, 4, 17, 4, 25. Yeah.
And 3:7 was when their eyes were open and they knew they had this experimental. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure why you. You might get some negative thought. I didn't get any negativity from it. All I'm trying to say is it's an experience that you're having.
Čo sa snažím povedať je, že to, čo oni zažili, nie je informácia, to bola skúsenosť. To je to poznanie, ktoré získali. Skúsenosť hriechu.
They eat the fruit.
Aké poznanie oni získali, keď jedli to ovocie?
So they're going to experience something, so they're going to taste it. But when it talks about a knowledge of good and evil, I mean, what new information do they have on evil now that they didn't know before?
Akú novú informáciu o zle mali teraz, ktorú nemali predtým?
They already knew that before. God said, if you eat, you're going to separate from me. So they knew that before and they know it afterwards.
Ak to zjedia, zomrú, že sa oddelia od Boha. Oni sa nič nové v tomto nedozvedeli.
I'm asking about what knowledge, because the point you're making is the point that I want us to see, that it's knowledge, experience. It's not information. They already knew.
Ja chcem, aby ste pochopili, že to, čo oni mali nové, to poznanie, to bola skúsenosť. Oni vedeli, že budú potrestaní. To vedeli aj predtým.
Before they do something, if you do it, there are going to be consequences. They know that. Now they're going to experience the consequences. Aj vy niečo poviete svojmu dieťaťu, ak spravíš toto a toto, takéto budú následky. A keď to spraví, tak tie následky pocíti.
We can't hear.
When the servant of the Lord says the sealing is an intellectual and spiritual settling in the truth.
Jedna tam hovorí, zapečatenie je intelektuálne a duchovné ukotvenie sa v pravde. Získame intelektuálne poznanie, ale duchovné je to, že máme toho skúsenosť toho poznania. To nie je len poznanie hlavy, ktorá je súčasťou vašej skúsenosti, musí to byť aj poznanie srdca. Ako v škole získate intelektuálne poznanie, ale prídete do práce a máte pracovnú skúsenosť toho poznania. Poďme do 1T 300, prvý odstavec. 1T 300, prvý odstavec.
And we just read Education 14.4.
Práve sme čítali výchovu 14.4 a ideme teraz 1.
The only safety now is to search for the truth as revealed in the Word of God. That's the hid treasure.
Jediné bezpečie teraz je skúmať pravdu tak, ako je zjavená v Božom slove, ako skrytý poklad. Témy sobota, prirodzenosť človeka a svedectvo Ježiša sú veľké a dôležité pravdy, ktoré musia byť pochopené. A oni budú kotvou, ktorá bude držať Boží ľud v týchto časoch úzkosti.
So, the only reason we're reading that is because
dôvod, prečo sme to čítali,
this is one of my justifications for even dealing with this subject. Dealing with the nature of man.
Toto je môj dôvod, prečo sa zaoberám touto témou, prirodzenosťou človeka.
That are of great importance that we're required to understand.
Ktoré majú veľkú dôležitosť a máme im rozumieť. A myslím si, že väčšina ľudí nerozumie prirodzenosti človeka.
So what took you to 10MR?
What you just said, instead of going to first testimony, but it talks right here. There is need of knowledge that is the fruit of experience. There is need of knowledge that is the fruit of experience.
Okay, but I wanted to go here.
Oh, sorry.
I wanted to go to the subjects of the Sabbath, the nature of man, the testimony of Jesus, are the great and important truths to be understood.
Soboty, prirodzenosti človeka a svedectva Ježišovho. Toto sú tri témy, ktoré musia byť pochopené.
Why do we study reform lines?
Prečo študujeme reformné línie?
What's the purpose of the reform line?
Aký je vlastne zámer reformnej línie?
So that we can understand the future.
Jedna odpovedá, aby sme mohli rozumieť budúcnosti. Ešte niekto?
Reform is so that we can change.
Understand the future. And you're saying so we can what? Understand
budúcnosti. Ďalší hovorí
Reformation, change, experience change.
So we can understand what reform is.
Aby sme mohli rozumieť reformácii, čo je to reforma v našom vlastnom živote.
So it's not to understand it, it's to experience it.
Aby sme vlastne prežili tú zmenu v našom živote.
Anyone else? Brother Larry. Oh,
Ešte
sorry.
niekto?
Brother Larry and Sister Shimela.
Brad Larry.
It says here that we must understand the testimony of Jesus, and the testimony of Jesus in Revelation 19:10 is the spirit of prophecy. So I understand, as John learns to understand prophecy.
Why?
On tam hovorí, že vlastne to svedectvo Ježišovo je duch prorocký.
So we need to understand the future
požaduje, aby sme rozumeli.
Yes.
My musíme rozumieť budúcnosti, aby sme sa mohli na ňu pripraviť.
Where we are now, today.
What difference does it make where we are now?
Because.
Why do you want to know where we are?
Because we're supposed to believe in present truth, not things that are yet to come. We're supposed to study it, but knowing.
Let me go back
hovorí,
to
aby sme vedeli,
you
kde sa
said, so we need to
nachádzame.
know where we are. Why do we need to know where we are?
To know where we're
A
going.
Parminder sa pýta,
So
prečo
is that
musíme vedieť, kde
to
sa
understand the
nachádzame.
future?
Okay. Yes.
That's that same point. For Jason.
The dealings of God with man is ever the same.
Ešte niekto? Tú pointu vlastne už povedal nejaký študent predtým.
I'm just saying that in every farmland, the dealing of God with man is ever the same.
So there's just like we enjoy studying history.
No, what I'm simply saying is that all the different reforms land is the same way God deal with the first reform land. Is the same way that He going to deal with the other reform land.
So I think we all agree with that. But I'm asking, so what? What's the purpose of studying that?
A moja otázka je, na čo vlastne študujeme reformné línie? Aký to má zámer, tá reformná línia?
I think that's a circular argument. We're studying the reform line so we can have a better understanding of reform lines. But why are we studying them in the first place?
Že aby sme tomu rozumeli. Dobre, ale prečo to študujeme? Prečo musíme tým reformným líniám rozumieť? Aký to má vlastne zámer?
To understand the change that the Lord wants to bring in us.
So would you go with that to experience reform? Would you want to change it to?
Aby sme prežili reformu?
To do what?
To experience a new experience.
To experience a new experience. Yeah. A reformation? I'll put new experience then. A new experience.
Alebo aby sme mali novú skúsenosť.
What is this new experience? Obviously it's new.
Ale čo je to tá nová
skúsenosť? What's the experience you've had in the past?
Akú skúsenosť si mal v minulosti?
New higher calling in God.
So you had a lower one before?
Yeah, you could say we have a lower.
So what was the lower one that you had?
We could, when you look at a reform line, we see darkness.
Horšiu? Aká bola tá horšia skúsenosť?
There, increase of knowledge.
So what was the lower experience that you had? That now you're going to get a higher one?
The lower one is, I would say that the lower passion.
Teraz myslíš, že máš lepšiu skúsenosť.
The other one is the higher passion. Lower and lower passion.
So you're saying God, the purpose of the reform line is to get you out of this mode of thinking into this one, so that you're not operated or controlled by the lower passions, but by the higher ones. That's the purpose of it.
Že ťa neovládajú tvoje nižšie túžby, ale tie vyššie túžby.
Ešte ďalší.
Love of the truth.
Sorry.
Love of the truth for to be saved.
Everybody loves the truth.
Yeah, I know, but
no one's studying reform lines.
Everybody receives the love of the truth.
So the purpose of the reform lines is to receive it, not to love it, because everybody's loving the truth.
Teraz ona hovorí, že lebo milujeme pravdu a on hovorí, ale každý miluje pravdu, nielen tí, čo študujú reformné linie.
So we receive it.
So wait, so you're saying the reform line has redemptive value?
Yes.
What does redeem mean? Redemptive value.
A teraz odpoveď bola, že reformná línia má hodnotu ako keby, že nás vykupuje. A on sa pýta, z čoho musíme byť vykúpení? Alebo prečo musíme byť vykúpení?
Adventists. So we're in the same condition as the world.
Kto musí byť vykúpený? Adventisti.
You just said we need to be redeemed and we need to be bought back.
Práve si povedal, že musíme byť vykúpení a privedení naspäť a musíme byť obrátení.
And that is showing that if we're still controlled by those,
then
we're not converted.
Then we're like the world.
Celá diskusia.
What's the difference between Adventists and the world?
Aký je rozdiel medzi adventistom a niekým zo sveta?
Richard, it doesn't sound right. Well, I'm saying what you're saying. Which one who's not right?
Ja len opakujem, čo si ty povedala. Dobre, ideme ďalej.
Brat Richard. The man was created in the image of God.
What question are you answering so that we're all back on?
My sme stratili Boží obraz.
What's the purpose of the reform?
What's the purpose of the reform line?
Na akú otázku mi teraz odpovedáš? Aký je zámer reformnej línie na túto otázku? Stratili sme Boží obraz.
Sin and things like that.
So we've lost the image of God. Who's we?
Dobre, stratili sme Boží obraz. Kto my? Kto my sme ho stratili?
Including
what?
Kto my?
I said all.
Yeah, so if it's all, I'm asking who does all include?
Ak my všetci, kto sme to my všetci? Kto tam patrí? Patríme tam my, ty a ja.
So what's the difference between the Adventist and the worldling?
Takže aký je rozdiel medzi adventistom a človekom zo sveta?
I go like one step at a time.
Just park that one for a minute. Right. What's the difference between an Adventist and someone in the world?
Aký je rozdiel medzi adventistom a niekým, kto je vo svete?
Okay, so we've just got a different name.
On hovorí, my sme Boží ľud, ten čo odpovedá. Áno, máme iba iné meno na našom dome.
Okay, so
my sme Boží ľud a oni nie sú Boží ľud.
So we're already servants before we hit the reform line.
Dobre, sme služobníci.
And so the purpose of the reform line is to do what?
Takže sme služobníci predtým, ako prídeme k reformnej línii. A zámer reformnej línie je potom čo?
Bring man back into the image of God.
So to get a servant back into the image of God.
Aby človek bol privedený naspäť do obrazu Božieho. Aby Boží služobník bol privedený naspäť do obrazu Božieho. Hovoríš toto? Dobre som pochopil?
We could say that.
Ja sa len snažím opakovať, čo si ty povedal.
You're saying here, before we come here, we're servants.
Ty hovoríš, že predtým, ako prídeme k reformnej línii, sme služobníci. Čo robia služobníci?
You said the purpose of the reform line is to get everybody
zámer reformnej línie,
and
si
restore
povedal,
the image of God in them.
že aby všetci
I think you said restore.
mohli mať v sebe obnovený Boží obraz. Takže sem napíšem slovo obnovený Boží obraz.
But you said everybody.
Takto.
And how many groups are in the world? There's servants and there's rebels.
Koľko je skupín vo svete? Sú služobníci a sú rebeli.
And the servants are who?
Rebeli sú svet a služobníci sú kto?
You said God's people.
Yeah, somewhere back there,
Yeah?
Boží ľud.
I'll say us. I was going to say you, then you'll get too personal.
Adventisti. Alebo my.
Sorry?
I said wouldn't bother me.
Okay, so that's us. So what's the difference between the servant and the rebel?
Takže aký je rozdiel medzi nami, ako služobníkmi, a niekým, kto je v rebelii a vo svete?
Well, you have the elect and the world. I don't know what angle you want me to answer that from, but
both of them need restoring. That's what you say.
Keď sa pozrieš na ten príbeh toho, že potrebujeme všetci obnovu na Boží obraz, aký je medzi nami rozdiel?
Not being in the image of God.
So they're not in the image of God.
Čoho potrebujeme obnoviť na Boží obraz? Takže títo nie sú na obraz Boží.
So they in the image of God.
Svet nie je na Boží obraz a títo služobníci
So they only like need
sú na
half
Boží
a
obraz?
reform line because they're already halfway there or something.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
So do they need all the gospel?
Who?
Všetci potrebujú
The
celé
servants.
evanjelium.
Yes, we do.
So that must mean they must be in the same
Služobníci
condition as the world.
Aj
Because the world
rebeli.
needs all the gospel.
Takže potom to znamená, že služobníci sú v rovnakom stave ako celý svet.
I'm just trying to clarify because it seems to me like you're saying that the servants and the rebels, or
Snažím sa to
the
ujasniť,
God-denominated church and the
lebo
world
zdá
are in
sa
the same
mi, že
condition.
hovoríš, že služobníci aj tí rebeli sú v rovnakom stave. Aj Božia cirkev, aj svet, že sú v rovnakom stave.
Restore.
To si sa snažil povedať?
So restore the image.
My všetci potrebujeme obnoviť na Boží obraz.
Which I think
Boží
is
obraz
exactly the same
nás.
as that.
Yeah.
Formed. You're formed in the image of God.
Right, but
My sme boli pôvodne stvorení na Boží
restoration
obraz.
part is what you go to 1 Peter 3:17. So we have a more sure word of prophecy.
Tá časť obnovy je v prvej Petrovej, myslím, 3:17.
Okay. So I wasn't asking the mechanism by
Tam
by
sa
which
píše o
it's
tej obnove. Dobre, ja teraz nevravím o tom mechanizme, ako sa tu deje.
So you're saying the mechanism
Ja
is
sa
through prophecy. I
pýtam,
think a number of people have said that, which is what this one is doing.
Reformnej línie. Ja viem, že ten mechanizmus sa deje skrze proroctvo.
Restore the image of God,
Ale
or to
zámer
give you an
toho
experience of
všetkého je,
reformation,
aby
this
sa v
new
nás obnovil
experience.
Boží obraz.
So I'm saying if you
Aby sme mali skúsenosť tejto
if you
premeny.
need restoring, that means you weren't restored before.
Takže ak potrebujeme obnovu,
I can't
to
remember,
znamená, že predtým nie sme v tom stave toho Božieho obrazu.
Oh yes, we'll go Brother Luke, I forgot.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we have nothing to fear for the future except we forget the way the Lord has led us in His teaching in our past history.
On tam hovorí, ten ďalší študent hovorí citát, že nemáme sa čoho báť, ak by sme zabudli, ako nás Boh viedol v minulosti.
Oh, it's okay.
So a knowledge of good and evil, that is what I believe the difference between the world and us.
So is that information?
Tam jedna hovorí, že aký je rozdiel medzi poznaním, medzi svetom
you're
a
going back
nami.
to this. What's the difference between us?
Yes.
So when you
Takže
say
keď
knowledge of
prídeme
good and evil,
k tomuto modelu, aký je rozdiel medzi nami? Ona hovorí, že poznanie dobrého a zlého. A on sa pýta, v informácii je rozdiel, alebo v skúsenosti je rozdiel.
So if you're here and you
Takže ak
know
sa nachádzame
that you're not supposed to be doing sin,
a ty vieš,
information, and the world doesn't
že
know
nemáš
that,
hrešiť.
so you're saying you
Máš
experience that.
informáciu a svet
So
to
why would you
nevie.
need a reform
Máš
line
tú
to
skúsenosť?
restore you if you're already doing it
Na čo ti je
here?
potom reformná línia,
What's the purpose
ak
of
ty
reform
už
line if you're already
si
experiencing
obnovená na
it
Boží
here? If you've
obraz?
already experienced restoration
Aký,
here.
na čo ti je reformná
in terms
línia,
of God,
keď už
because
ty
you
máš
said the
tú
world isn't.
skúsenosť toho,
So the difference between us and the world is
že
we have
nehrešíš a že
knowledge
si na Boží obraz.
and they don't. And I asked you what the knowledge was. You said it's
Jediný rozdiel
information
medzi
and
nami a
experience.
svetom je, že
So if
my
you're
máme
experiencing
to,
it here,
my máme
you don't need to
informáciu,
be
my máme
restored because
poznanie,
you're
ale
already
oni nemajú.
restored here.
Ale my to
You don't need
neprežívame,
the
tú
reform
skúsenosť
line
toho nemáme.
if you've already been
Ak by
restored, if
sme
you've
mali
got an
tú skúsenosť,
experience.
nepotrebovali by sme reformnú líniu.
God's people there.
Here.
Yeah, I wouldn't say knowledge and experience go there. I'd say the knowledge comes in and the experience comes.
So they don't have an experience. They just have information.
Čiže ty myslíš, že oni majú len informáciu, ale nemajú skúsenosť? Áno.
Yes, I would.
Because this is us before 1989.
Yeah.
So you have to put them there.
Yeah.
To sme my pred 89.
So they don't
To je
have an
Boží ľud pred
experience.
89.
Yeah, so they
Nemajú skúsenosť.
we had the knowledge, but the experience wasn't there because the knowledge
Majú
was
poznanie.
yet to increase.
So I'll give you an example.
It's supposed to be progressive.
I don't know how many Adventists there are.
Ale
There's
to poznanie
17
sa
million
malo
people
zvýšiť.
who know you're not
Dám
allowed
ti
to eat
príklad.
pork.
Takže
Got that here? Who am I
neviem, koľko
pointing
je
at?
adventistov, ale 17
This group
miliónov
or this
ľudí
group?
vie, že nemajú jesť bravčové. Do
17
ktorej
million
patria
people in the
skupiny? Sem
world.
alebo sem?
20 million people in the world know
17
you're not allowed
miliónov
to eat
ľudí,
pork. They have
20
knowledge of
miliónov
that. Which
nesmú
group am I
jesť
pointing
bravčové.
to?
Majú poznanie toho. Ktorá skupina? Je to táto alebo táto?
When you say people, that's generalizing.
Adventists. 20 million Adventists know you're not allowed to eat pork.
Adventisti. 20 miliónov
this group.
adventistov vedia, že nemajú jesť
That's my very
bravčové. To je
point. There's
táto skupina.
1.3 billion people who, for the same reason, don't eat pork because God commanded them not to. They're Muslims. So they have the same information. So there's no difference. It's just knowledge. Everyone's got the knowledge.
Máme rovnaké
5 billion people on the planet know that you're not supposed to beat your children in anger. Maybe more.
5 biliónov ľudí na Zemi vie, že nemáme deti byť v hneve. Adventisti to vedia.
No, I think there's 7 billion. I'm assuming the 2 billion do beat them in anger. They don't know any difference. So I'm saying 5 billion know they're not supposed to.
Ja som povedal 5 biliónov, lebo sú ľudia, ktorí veria, že ich môžeme byť
we know everything that they know.
Preto som nepovedal všetkých ľudí.
You go to theologians in evangelical Christianity. They know about the Sabbath. Catholics know about it. Everyone knows the 7th day is the Sabbath.
Oni by nemali a my ich máme.
We don't know anything more than the
world
knows.
Keď pôjdete ku katolickému kňazovi, on vie, že 7. deň je
secret information that the world doesn't know. We know everything that the world knows.
My nemáme žiadne tajné informácie, ktoré svet nevie. Vieme to, čo vie aj svet.
Sister Tanya, then Sister Brittany.
Ohľadne poznania sme na rovnakej úrovni.
Right here is to gain daily a better understanding of how to reason logically from cause to effect. And we know that that's the mind of Christ, of reasoning from cause to effect. And from the fall, we have lost the mind of Christ. We acquire the mind of Satan. And through these studying of the reform lines, we're gaining back reasoning from cause to effect. Now, you guys were talking about knowledge and experience. From this passage that I just read, it sounds like there is no knowledge that is the fruit of experience. It sounds like you get knowledge from the experience. Am I reading that wrong? And we're saying exactly the opposite way. We're saying that we need to have knowledge.
We're trying to address that question. So the question Sister Tanya is asking is which comes first, experience or knowledge first?
Tá jedna otázku, že
so the way she's reading Tenema,
najprv príde skúsenosť a potom poznanie, alebo najprv poznanie, potom skúsenosť.
300.1, it seems to suggest that there's an experience first that gives you a knowledge. And so the question, which one comes first, experience or knowledge? So we're trying to address that one. So cause and effect. So we need to understand about cause. So we could just do a study. We could go to college and do a course in, I don't know, philosophy or social science or something. The world understands about cause and effect. We could do biochemistry or something,
rozumie príčinám a následku.
The world, scientists, lots of people understand about cause and effect. So when we talk about cause and effect, it's a bit more.
Mnoho ľudí rozumie
we need to know what that actually means about cause and effect.
Príčinám a následkom.
To arrive at why safe conclusion.
I'm not disregarding what you're saying. I agree the cause and effect. What I'm suggesting is the way we approach religion is like voodoo science or voodoo religion. It's not real. We approach the problem in a way that falsifies the truth. But more often than not, the world approaches most issues using cause and effect. And I think that's what Ellen White's trying to say. That when we approach God, when we approach the problem of ourselves, understanding who we are, we're not using cause to effect. We're just sort of making it up as we go along. I think we are. Most Christians do. Most Christians think, you know, if I don't do anything, God will sort out all the problems for me.
Ak niečo nebudem robiť, Pán Boh to za mňa vyrieši.
We're not using scientific principles of cause and effect. I mean, the world, you know, a college course in mathematics or physics or science, whatever something, biochemistry, is not something that Satan invents. It's just man's understanding of how a human being was put together, or what nature looks like, or the laws of nature. It's all religion.
Človek popisuje to, ako Pán Boh stvoril všetko.
When the world talks about cause and effect, they're using the principles and rules that we're supposed to be using, but we tend not to use them.
používa tento princíp od príčiny k následku.
Shut our brains down and just say, let's go with the emotions.
Aj my to máme používať. Nemáme vypnúť náš mozog.
Okay, so we go with true religion and false religion. These rebels here, these worldlings, have they got a true religion or a false religion? They've got a false religion. What do they need to correct them? They need the reform line, which is going to restore the image of God in them. So we agree with that. So what religion have we got? Adventists.
Reformnú líniu, aby mohol byť obnovený Boží obraz v nich. My, adventisti, aké máme náboženstvo? Ak by sme mali skutočné náboženstvo, nepotrebovali by sme reformnú líniu. Máme falošné náboženstvo presne tak, ako moslima. Možno, že máme viac informácií, môžeme sa tváriť, že všetko je v poriadku, ale
because they are what creates the restoration of the image of God in the human being.
Ak by naše náboženstvo bolo v poriadku, nemuseli by sme mať reformnú líniu.
Haven't we?
A predtým, ako prídeme k reformnej línii, my máme nepravé náboženstvo. Nemyslím si, že tomu naozaj veríte, pretože je to útok na adventizmus. Tam sa jedna vracia k pôvodnej otázke. Že reformná línia nám ukazuje potrebu toho, že sa musíme zmeniť. A on hovorí, áno, tu nejde len o to, aby sme rozumeli, čo sa stane v budúcnosti. Pretože zámer toho je čo? Čo si povedala? Ukázať nám potrebu toho, že potrebujeme zmenu. Prečo potrebujeme zmenu? Prečo sa musíme reformovať? Lebo už je iba 1 rok do nedeľného zákona.
Is that what you're saying? Okay, so we're here.
Prečo potrebujeme sa zmeniť?
This is 89 and this is midnight.
To je 89.
Happening
to je
next
polnoc.
Okay.
Na budúci rok.
Why do we need the reform line? Because you're saying I've got
Prečo potrebujeme reformnú líniu? Už mám len 4 mesiace.
That's kind of what you said? Okay, so that's the problem that everybody's going to argue against a reform line. The church argues that you're supposed to be ready every day.
Prečo cirkev bojuje proti reformnej línii? Cirkev hovorí, že musíme byť pripravení každý deň. Ale ty hovoríš...
No, that's what you said. I mean, isn't that what we all say?
Ja neviem presne, čo som chcela povedať.
You can't use that argument, you need to be ready every day.
Tento argument nemôžeme použiť, že musíme byť pripravení každý deň. Toto nie je pravdivý argument. Že každý deň musíme byť pripravení.
And just like what you pointed out, like the man asked Ellen White, does she think that the Lord is coming in X amount of time? And she said, so what if the Lord wasn't coming? What would you change if he were? And he said he would live a different life if he knew that the Lord was coming in, I'll say 2 years in comparison to 5 years. And
tam jedna odpovedá, žijem iný život, keď viem, že to prichádza skoro. Je v nás sebectvo.
We're supposed to be reformed because we love God, we know God and love God. And
my máme robiť veci, pretože milujeme Boha.
So I've seen just one point. Okay, so we're living in a society that we don't have a fridge. Yeah? There's no refrigeration.
Takže žijeme niekde, kde není chladnička.
We're supposed to be ready every day. And Sabbath is coming in how many days?
Každý deň máme byť pripravení.
It's Sunday.
Sobota prichádza za koľko dní?
6 days, is that right? So,
o 6 dní.
What do you need to do today? You need to cook your Sabbath food.
Takže čo musíme dneska urobiť?
What would happen?
Musíte si uvariť jedlo na sobotu? Čo sa stane?
So, you say, okay, I'll do it on Monday. It'll spoil. What's the only logical and sensible thing that you're supposed to do?
Pokazí.
You prepare it the day
before.
Čo je
jediný logický záver, kedy si máte navariť? Deň predtým. Každý deň je taký istý?
You go to any Adventist institution, you work,
keď pôjdete do adventnej inštitúcie, akejkoľvek,
or every day of the week except Friday. What do they do on
pracovať,
Friday?
Neviem,
any institution that I've ever heard of, they give you half day. Why?
V každej inštitúcii, ktorú ja poznám, v piatok vám dajú pol dňa voľno. Prečo? Pretože piatok je iný ako ostatné dni. Neviem, ako adventisti prišli
satanic understanding that you need to be ready every day, because every day is the same as any other day.
Že každý deň musíme byť pripravení.
This issue about
lebo že každý deň je taký istý ako ostatné.
Future, because you need to know you've only got a few months left.
A to je presne to, že my vieme, že sa musíme pripraviť, lebo už máme len pár mesiacov.
It's not 2018, by the way. In case you...
To tu nemá byť 2018, to len tak akože... Nejaké komenty sú tam?
Okay, so we're going to go to Ezekiel 37 in a second. Oh, another point?
O tom budeme ešte hovoriť, o Ezekielovi 37.
Okay, so it's to teach you about yourself, because back here, what do you think about yourself?
Pretože tu, čo si o sebe myslíme.
This is what I think none of you are struggling with when I'm saying you're just the same as the world. Because you think you're different.
To, prečo máme s týmto zápas. Pretože my si myslíme, že sme iní ako svet. A ako môže sa stať nejaký útok na adventizmus?
Because we say,
že je to nepravé náboženstvo.
It's because we think we're servants.
My povieme, to tak nemôže byť. My si myslíme, že sme služobníci.
I'll ask this to Tess, because she's inferring that we're not.
Pýtam sa sestry Tess, ona na to komentovala.
Yeah?
Tá reformná línia je na to, aby sa z nás služobníci stali.
In Antioch.
Prví kresťania boli kde pomenovaní? V Antiochii. Čo to znamená, že boli nazvaní kresťania v Antiochii?
Yeah.
They weren't called out before.
Okay, they weren't called, but why are they calling them Christians now?
Prečo ich nazvali kresťania?
Because they look like Christ, they talk like Christ. It's all about Christ.
Vyzerali ako Kristus, hovorili ako Kristus, robili všetko ako Kristus.
So this idea of being a servant is not only just being a slave.
Takže táto myšlienka toho, že sme služobníkmi, to nie je, že sme otroci.
Being like him,
to
behaving
hovorí
like him,
o
acting
obnove
like him.
toho, že sme ako
Kristus. If we're saying the purpose of reformation is restore his image in you, it means you didn't have the image before.
A tento zámer toho, že on obnovuje svoj obraz v nás, to znamená, že my sme ten obraz predtým nemali. A tvrdíme, že sme služobníci, nie sme.
You'd never even know that you're not a servant. So someone has to stand up.
A bez reformnej línie by sme ani nevedeli, že služobníci nie sme. A niekto sa musí postaviť, snáď to budeme my. A povieme našim bratom a sestrám, čo?
You need to get into reality and understand that you're not
musíte sa
who
prebudiť
you
do
claim
tejto
to
reality
be.
A pochopiť, že nie ste tým, o kom hovoríte, že ste.
The way the Hebrew has set it up, it's actually a countdown. They don't actually have names to their weeks like their days to their weeks. So it's basically 6 days to Sabbath, 5 days to Sabbath, 4 days to Sabbath. It's a countdown to the Sabbath. So the logic about saying that you have to start your preparation
hovorí tam, že vlastne tie dni k sobote, vlastne to je počítanie k sobote, že prvý deň 6 dní k sobote, 5 dní k sobote, 4 dní k sobote až deň prípravy. Čiže deň prípravy je iný ako všetky ostatné dni. To je pripomienka z publika.
So it's all a countdown to the end point. But your behavior every day is different.
Čiže reformná línia je ako keby odpočítavanie ku záveru. A každý deň nie je taký istý, ako je iný deň.
Reform, Ellen White says it even more precisely. She says, it is by teaching them, the children, line upon line.
Where are you reading from?
Child Guidance 475, paragraph 3.
Child Guidance 475, paragraph 3.
It is by teaching them, line upon line, precept upon precept,
a tam sa hovorí o vedení detí línia na líniu.
So what's that saying? Why have you read that to us?
Že ako majú dať svoje srdce Bohu, aby satanová moc bola zlomená.
What you need to experience. We need to experience how to give our
a tam sa píše, že my musíme mať skúsenosť
toho,
že dáme srdce Kristovi. Poďme sa teraz pozrieť do knihy Rímanov, 3. kapitola.
Romans chapter 3.
Rímanom 3.
What you really need to do is read chapters 1 and chapters 2, and even the first bit of Romans chapter 3, to understand the context of what's going on.
Skúste si sami vo voľnom čase prečítať prvú, druhú kapitolu, aby ste chápali ten kontext.
The reason why I say that is before you even read it, Paul's going to say, I've already proved something.
Predtým, ako to budeme
Whatever he's saying, he says, I've already proved this assertion to be true.
som vám
So you have to go
ukázal
back
alebo
to
dokázal.
the first 2.5 chapters to
Takže
see what his proof is.
Vy musíte prejsť tie
which we're
kapitoly
not going to do.
predtým, aby ste videli
So
ten jeho
3:9 it
dôkaz.
says, what
To ja teraz
then?
nebudem robiť.
Are we better than
Čítame
they?
Rímanom 3:9.
No, in no wise.
Čo tedy?
For we have before
Či máme nejakú
proved
prednosť
both Jews and
nejakým činom?
Gentiles that they are all
Lebo tu
under
prv
sin.
sme obvinili i
who's he
Židov i
talking
Grékov,
about?
že všetci
You
sú
get it
pod
in the last part
hriechom.
of the verse.
O kom tu on hovorí?
The
V tej druhej
Jews
časti
and
toho
Gentiles. He
verša.
does the repeat and enlarge. So if we go
Židia
back
a
to the first
Gréci.
part of the verse, he says, are we,
Keď
who's
pozrieme
the
na tú
we?
prvú časť, on hovorí, že
Are we the Jews
či my
better
máme
than
nejakú
they?
prednosť? Kto my?
The Gentiles.
My
Do you all
Židia
agree with
máme
that?
prednosť? Sme
And his
lepší ako
answer is
oni?
what?
Sme lepší ako pohania?
So we're
A jeho
here.
odpoveď je čo?
So
Nie.
are the Jews
Všetci
any
sme pod
different or any
hriechom.
better than the Gentiles?
Takže
What
sú
condition are they
Židia
all
v
in?
niečom iní ako pohania?
They're all under
V akom
sin.
stave sú
So there's
všetci?
no difference between them.
Všetci sú pod hriechom.
So are
Nie
we
je rozdiel
Jews?
medzi nimi žiaden.
Yeah, we're God's people.
Sme Židia?
Yes. So what's the difference
Áno, sme
between
Boží
an
ľud.
Adventist
Áno.
and a
Aký je
Gentile?
rozdiel medzi adventistom a pohanom?
It says no difference. We're not in the fear of the Lord.
Nie je
There's no
rozdiel.
difference because we're all under sin.
Medzi nami nie je rozdiel.
That's his
Všetci sme pod
argument, isn't it?
hriechom.
When he says we,
To je jeho
does he really
argument.
mean himself?
Keď on povie my, myslí tým
Sister
seba?
Arlene, you think he's talking about himself?
Myslíš, že hovorí sám o sebe?
Yes? So he says,
Hej?
me, well, I'm speaking
Takže
to you,
on
I'm
hovorí,
under sin. You just said yes.
že ja som pod hriechom. Myslíte, že to hovorí?
Okay, so if you just say, okay, that's fine. That was a double-minded man.
Dobre, však nevadí.
So is he under sin or is he not under sin?
Tak je Pavol pod hriechom,
Or are we
alebo
not
nie je
sure?
pod
He
hriechom?
has experienced reform.
Alebo nie sme si
What
istí.
Daniel did, he's saying we, so he's including himself. When Daniel prayed for the people, his people.
So, okay, so he's sort of doing this inclusive thing because he's such a humble man. But is he under sin?
No.
Takže
He's
Pavol
under
sám
grace.
seba zahrňuje s Božím ľudom, lebo je pokorný
So
človek, ale on je pod milosťou.
his argument here is what? What's the difference
Jeho
between an
argument tu
Adventist
je čo? Aký je rozdiel medzi adventistom
and someone in the world?
a niekým, kto je
So
vo
we've got
svete?
an SDA and we've got
Takže
the
máme tu
world.
niekoho, kto je adventista a máme
What's the
niekoho,
difference
kto je zo
between them?
sveta.
They're the same.
Aký je rozdiel medzi nimi?
Does everybody
Sú to
agree with
isté.
that? Yeah? So Paul has a really nice thing.
Súhlasíte?
He says, if you're in the church or if you're in the world, doesn't make any
Ak
difference.
ste v cirkvi,
Because
alebo
there
ak
are
ste
what?
vo svete,
None.
to není žiaden rozdiel.
Yeah, there
Prečo?
are none good. No, not one.
Pretože
Is
všetci
Paul
sú pod
good?
hriechom. Je Pavel dobrý? Nie ani jeden spravodlivý. Nie
So
jedného
you think Paul's not good?
spravodlivého. A Pavel? Kde je Pavel? Takže myslíte, že Pavel tiež nie je dobrý alebo spravodlivý?
Unless he's seeing himself as separate.
Okay, so I'll say that they're all under sin.
Takže ja
Let's hold
napíšem,
that
že
thought.
všetci sú pod hriechom.
And let's go to
Aj cirkev, aj svet.
Philippians chapter 3.
Poďme do Filipanom 3.
Verse 1. Philippians chapter 3, verse 1.
Prvý verš. Filipanom 3, prvý verš.
Oh, no, let's go somewhere else.
Pardon, poďme inde.
I can find this one.
Musím to nájsť.
I will go to this one. I can't find the other one I wanted to. Let me see if I can quickly find it.
Niekde som to stratil, počkajte chvíľu.
Okay, yeah. Let's keep your fingers in Philippians chapter 3. Let's go to Romans chapter 10, verse 12.
Poďme do Rímanom 10 a potom sa vrátime do Filipanom 3. Takže Rímanom 10. Dvanácty verš.
Romans 10 verse 12. For there is no difference between Jew and Greek.
Lebo nie je to rozdielu medzi Židom a Grékom, lebo ten istý Pán je Pánom všetkých. Je to ten istý argument.
For the same
Židia a Gréci sú to isté.
For the same Lord over all is rich unto all that call upon his name.
Bohatý naproti všetkým, ktorí ho vzývajú.
Talking about this group who are under sin.
Takže hovorí to tu o tejto skupine, ktorá je pod hriechom.
Is it this group that he's referring to?
Alebo je to táto skupina?
Anybody see it differently?
Áno, nie.
Jew and Greek, it says.
Yeah, it's Jew and Greek. I understand. That's why I brought us here, because it's Jew and Greek. He says in Romans 3:9 it's Jew and Greek. So I'm asking, is it this group?
V Rímanom 3:9 Žid a Grék. Je to táto skupina? Všetci sú pod hriechom. Áno? Prečo nie?
So you're saying it's another group? Anyone else?
Takže ty hovoríš, že ešte je iná skupina?
You agree?
Ešte niekto má nejaký názor?
You haven't said anything today.
Is Paul, are you saying is Paul under?
Separate question now. We did us and them all the same. We're all under sin. Now he's going to talk about us and them again, but this is Romans 10:12 now. Different chapter. I'm asking the context of this. He's saying the same thing, Jew and Gentile. For the same Lord is over all, is rich unto all them that call upon his name. Brother Jonathan?
If you read verse 13, it says, for whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Would make sense to me, it's the same group.
The same group? Brother Tyler?
Že nie je to rozdiel medzi Židom a Grékom.
Sister Olivine, they don't agree with you.
Fine. I still...
So let's come into the unity of the faith.
Tí študenti dohadujú, jedni vravia, že sú v jednej skupine, druhí vravia, že nie sú v jednej skupine Židia a Gréci.
Let's try and work through this.
Takže poďme sa na to skúsiť pozrieť.
Let's go to Romans 3:22.
Poďme sa pozrieť.
We read Romans 3:9.
Na Rímanom 3:22.
So let's put the verses down. This is Romans 3:9. I'm suggesting that this is Romans 10:12.
Čítali sme Rímanom 3:9.
Put a question mark. Let's go to 3:22.
10:12.
Even the righteousness of God, which is by faith of Jesus Christ, unto all and upon all
avšak spravodlivosť Božia skrze vieru Ježiša Krista cieľom všetkých a na všetkých veriacich. Lebo nie je to rozdielu. Lebo všetci zhrešili a postradajú slávy Božej. Keď hovorí, že nie je rozdielu, o čom hovorí? Nie je rozdielu medzi tými dvoma skupinami. Čiže jedni sú pod hriechom.
Didn't quite say they're under grace, but they're believers. And the context of this is they're not believers. So can we for sure put Romans 3:22 here? And if we're using that context, then you go back to Romans 3:22. It's because they're calling upon his name. Let's go to Acts 15:9.
Vzývajú jeho meno. Poďme do skutkov.
Who was Romans written to?
1:7 says, to all that be in Rome, beloved of God, called to be saints, but to be is added. So
komu sú napísaní Rímania? Tam je otázka.
You didn't answer my question.
Yeah. Who is
they were the saints of God.
Yeah. So the book of Romans was written to the saints of Rome.
All the books were written to the saints.
There's each book is addressed to a particular
všetky knihy boli napísané svätým.
I mean, are you talking about Jewish saints or Gentile saints? When you the question, just the saints, but they're all saints. Right. I mean, 1 Corinthians is written to the saints in Corinth.
Židia alebo pohania boli svätí.
All of his books, that's what the epistles are all about. Yeah. Acts 15:9.
Poďme sa pozrieť do skutkov 15:9.
What's the context of Acts 15:9? Jerusalem Council.
Kontext toho?
So let's read that. And put no difference between us and them, purifying their hearts by faith.
A neurobil nejakého rozdielu medzi nami a medzi nimi, očistiac vierou ich srdcia. Takže znova vidíme, že nie je rozdielu medzi Židom a pohanom. Nie je rozdielu tu a nie je rozdielu tu. Táto tu skupina,
they're under grace, they're receiving this restoration. And what phrase do we use?
A prijali tú obnovu. Akú frázu na to používame? Keď hovoríme o reformnej línii.
So we use this phrase, God's
dealing with men
is ever the same. And we're going to use that argument to say that the way he's going to deal with the church is the same way he's going to deal with the world. Why would he deal with the church and the world in the same way?
Rovnako, ako aj so svetom. Prečo by s cirkvou zaobchádzal rovnako ako so svetom?
They're all in the same condition. They're all in the same condition to begin with, so the solution is the same. Same problem, same solution. Doesn't matter where you came from.
Stave a je pre nich rovnaké riešenie.
Adventists do not believe that they're under sin.
Neveria, že sú pod hriechom.
I'm not sure if the people in this room actually believe that Adventists are under sin.
Či ľudia v tejto miestnosti tomu vlastne veria, že adventisti sú pod hriechom.
Silly transgression of the law. I'll just leave it at that. Whatever it is, it's not good. Whatever it is, it's not good.
Čokoľvek to znamená, nie je to nič dobré.
We or them? Where are you? You're an Adventist. Are you this one or this one, Mr. Chamilla?
Ty si adventistka, si na tejto strane alebo na tejto strane?
So you're under this one. So I'm asking you, do you think all the other ones are
Takže sa ťa
here?
pýtam, myslíš si,
Every
že
Adventist.
všetci ostatní adventisti sú tu? Že každý adventista?
We should be under grace.
No, you're under here, you said. What
Mali
brought
by
you
sme
here?
byť pod milosťou. Ty vravíš, že si tu pod milosťou. Čo ťa sem priviedlo? Čo ťa priviedlo pod
The message,
milosť?
this line here. Yeah?
Posolstvo.
So you're here.
Ťa priviedla.
So let's put the reform line
Takže
beginning like
tu.
this.
Dáme sem reformnú
Time at
líniu
the end.
takto.
So you're saying you're here.
Čas
And the
konca.
world is here as well.
A ty
But they're
hovoríš,
not quite here yet because we haven't gone to them.
Že ty
So
si
these
tu,
people are
aj
where?
svet tu je, ale svet tu ešte nie, lebo my sme za nimi nešli.
All of this.
A títo ľudia sú kde?
What precedes the time of the end?
Všetci
So they're
títo.
all in darkness.
Čo je pred časom konca? V temnote
Do we
sú.
agree, or do you believe, that the whole of Adventists and the 20 million
Súhlasíme,
of them
alebo
are in
veríš tomu,
darkness?
že celá cirkev adventná
Every single
je
one.
v temnote? Veríš tomu? Každý jeden z nich? Nie. Neverím.
So it was.
I don't know.
Okay, so the reason I push in the point is because
Dôvod,
I think
prečo
a
to
lot
takto
of us
tlačím,
don't
je,
really believe our message.
že si
We
myslím,
have a
že
theory of the
väčšina z
truth.
nás
We
vlastne
believe
neverí tomuto
or claim to believe
posolstvu.
all of this
My
intellectually.
veríme tomu, že
but
je
we
to
really
pravda,
don't
máme
believe
ten
it.
pocit, že je to pravda
You don't
intelektuálne,
believe
ale skutočne tomu
that
neveríme.
20
Neveríme
million
tomu,
people are in this condition,
že
utterly
20 miliónov
lost,
ľudí sú v tomto
and that
stave
this is the
a že sú
only true
stratení.
solution to their problem.
A že toto je jediné
claim it, we
skutočné
talk
riešenie
about
na
it.
ich problém.
But when push comes to
My
shove, I'm
hovoríme
not
o
sure that we
tom,
really
že
believe it.
áno, hlásame to, ale keď prídeme naozaj k tomu
I've got the
bodu,
reform line
myslím si,
here,
že tomu
yeah?
skutočne neveríme.
This is the only way that you come under grace.
Toto
And
je
I'm
reformná
probably a bit hard
línia
on
a je to jediná
pushing
cesta,
Sister
ako byť pod
Shimona there.
milosťou.
And she says she's not sure. And I suspect that because you don't like
ja
the
vidím,
implications
sestra
of
vraví,
that,
že si
or
nie
you know
je
lots of
istá,
nice
že či to takto
Adventists
je.
who are nicer than us, or whatever the
A ona
arguments
pozná
that we
mnoho
all
milých, dobrých
hear.
adventistov, pozná, akí sme my,
I wonder, do we actually
akékoľvek
believe
sú tie
what we
argumenty.
And if you don't believe what you
Ja sa pýtam, veríme
you're not
vlastne
gonna
tomu, čo
experience it because
učíme?
you haven't
Ak
even got
neveríme
what?
tomu, čo učíme,
Early
nebudeme mať ani tú
writings.
skúsenosť.
No, it's not really writing. An intellectual and a spiritual settling into the truth. You don't even believe it intellectually.
zakotvenie v pravde musí byť intelektuálne a duchovné. A my nemáme ani intelektuálne. Ak intelektuálne neveríme, že toto je jediné riešenie pre každého, nemôžete ani začať mať tú skúsenosť.
So, we just read all of these ones. Let's go back to Philippians chapter 3.
My sme práve čítali tieto verše. Poďme teraz do Filipanom 3. Prvý verš.
Oh, no, we'll do one more. Let me do one more. Colossians 3:11. So I really want us to get this point. Paul has a theme in the New Testament. He says,
Pavol má takú tému v Novom zákone a on hovorí,
or whether you're a Gentile, it makes no difference. You're either going to be put into two camps.
Je to jedno. Nie je v tom rozdiel. Môžete byť len v jednom z dvoch táborov. Buď ste v tomto tábore, alebo v tomto tábore. A adventisti tomu
so I want us
neveria.
to really be comfortable with this. Colossians 3:11.
Takže chcem, aby ste toto pochopili. Kološanom 3:11.
These are all familiar passages to us. They're not new, strange Bible verses.
Toto sú známe pasáže, ktoré poznáme.
Nor Jew,
kde už nie je ani Gréka, ani Žida, obriezky, ani neobriezky. Barbara, Skytu, sluhu slobodného, ale všetko a vo všetkom Kristus.
But Christ is all and in all. So where's Christ? He's in all of these people.
Takže čo je Kristus?
Yeah?
Všetko
He's in the world,
a vo všetkom.
and he's in the Adventist.
On je vo svete, on je v adventizme.
This is the man. Here's Christ in him. And it's the same with this person. Whether you're a Jew or a Gentile, Christ is in you.
S týmto človekom. Či ste Žid alebo pohan, Kristus vo vás.
What about this one?
A čo táto
What's in this
skupina?
person?
Čo je v týchto ľuďoch?
Sorry? Sin. I'll put
hriech.
I'll put LP, lower passions.
Dám sem
or the sin.
Tie nižšie vášne. Alebo hriech.
I don't think we believe that. Because if we believe
Myslím si, že
that,
tomuto neveríme.
we'd probably change the way
Ak by ste tomu
we
verili,
approach the whole problem. It would affect the way we approach our
zmenili
own
by ste
problem
prístup
for
k veciam.
ourselves.
Aj
Galatians
prístup k našim vlastným
3:28.
problémom. A k nám.
What do you mean?
Galatianom 3,
An example.
28.
Be acting differently. Could you give an example of that?
Can anybody give an example?
I think many practical examples have been given since the class has begun.
Skočila ona do tej diskusie.
When you were asking Brother Richard, and even from the time you asked the question, the first thing on the reform line is darkness. And yet once you put it where our minds know that it is darkness, once you draw that line and you put the time of the end and you start asking persons the question, they refuse to admit that there is darkness that is before the time of the end. And the reason for refusing to say that is the very point that you're making. We do not want to admit that we are in darkness. So it's uncomfortable.
Ona hovorí, že my nechceme priznať, že sme v temnote.
Because we
Je to
may think,
nepríjemné.
oh, we know good persons within the church or whatever, but it is uncomfortable to
My
admit
sme v cirkvi, my si myslíme, že sme na správnom mieste, ale je nepríjemné priznať, že sme v temnote.
I think the real problem isn't that we don't see darkness. I think the real problem is we don't see light. I think everyone in this room, at one level or another, believes that they're in darkness and that they haven't come out through the reform lines. And I think that maybe that's just the opposite ditch on the other side. One side you can say that Adventism or God's people aren't in darkness, and the other side says they're not in light.
Say that again. What did you say about us? But we believe that we're...
I think a lot of people believe us, in this room probably, that they're not out of darkness. That they're not in the reform line in terms of salvation or under grace or however you want to say it.
Že keď niekto není v reformnej línii, tak je v temnote.
Well, then the movement.
No, so you...
Then go movement wide.
No, because I was going to ask people, do you really believe that, my sister, my brother? Do you really believe that you're still in darkness? And why would someone say that? Why would someone think they're still in darkness?
Prečo by ti niekto povedal, že je stále v temnote?
If you look at your personal life,
keď sa pozrieme na náš súkromný život, tak si myslíme, že stále sme ešte v temnote.
So, all of this is not, you're not even experiencing this.
Čiže my vlastne ani neprežívame skúsenosť tej reformnej línie.
It's a progression.
Sorry?
It's a progression. Once you're out of darkness, you are out of darkness.
Ale je to proces. Keď sme vyšli z temnoty, vyšli sme z temnoty. Toto je všetko diskusia.
Or is this the mind setting, once saved, always saved?
Saved, always saved? Someone had their hand up.
I was thinking, just as I've learned the reform lines or whatever, you go through those moments of where you think like, man, is this really true in my life? And
is what really true?
What God is doing, whatever. Why am I not experiencing this? Right? I mean, it's just a practical way to think. If the Bible is telling you this,
prečo
and then
ja
your experience is contrary to what the Bible is telling you, then it's something wrong. So
vidím, že môj život ide proti tomu, ako hovorí Biblia.
This is why she has a quote. She says, how about naked faith? Where you claim the promises before the feeling or whatever. And I think that's what God is trying to teach us. These reform lines, you have to bring your life into conformity to it, and you have to believe what it's teaching you.
The reason you're not experiencing it is obvious. Because you're not doing the medical missionary work. You're not doing evangelism and doing what you're supposed to be doing. That's why you're not experiencing it. Isn't it?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No.
I'm saying the experience as far as like in 9/11, all right. We're supposed to. It's the refreshing. So you're supposed to be overcoming. So supposed to be having this. Supposed to be having the sanctification experience. You're supposed to be living right. But when you come in, let's say after 9/11, you wonder like, how can I experience this? What did I miss? But the Bible's teaching us, it's not only is it, I mean, it's by faith. You claim this, and you believe it because this is what the Bible is teaching you to believe. So we have to change our mind. Say, this is what the reform line is telling me. This is what I'm going to believe. This is how I'm going to live.
Ako keby sa to držať ako zasľúbenia.
Mr. Olivine?
To bolo v rámci diskusie, ešte ďalšie.
Says the subjects of the Sabbath, and we do know the subjects of the Sabbath. The nature of man and the testimony of Jesus are the great and important truths to be understood. Since I'm speaking now for me, it is since this class that I've begun to understand the nature of man. And an understanding of the nature of man, I can testify that knowing in beginning to understand it or getting a clear understanding of it, I am getting a clear understanding of what it means to have victory over sin. Before that time, I was in darkness because I did not know what it meant, what the nature of man is, and therefore how to overcome sin.
Pretože som predtým nevedela, čo to je prirodzenosť človeka, tak som nevedela, ako prekonať hriech a bola som v temnote. A teraz, keď začínam tomu rozumieť, tak mám tu možnosť, že zajtra urobíme Filipánom, ja by som chcel spraviť teraz také rýchle zhrnutie.
My sme tu v 2017. We're almost at midnight. We believe that. We claim to believe that.
Sme takmer
And we're talking about this restoration of the image of God in us.
polnoci, tomu tak veríme.
We haven't got much time left.
Veríme v obnovenie Božieho obrazu v nás.
No matter when you started,
času.
You know, even if you've been here for this long or this long, the time you've got left isn't. So it doesn't make any difference. Because everyone's in the same condition. Whether you're bond or free, whatever it is, everyone's in the same position.
Všetci sme v rovnakom stave.
If we're going to say, let's not define what sin is. So the purpose of this was to restore the image of God in a human being. And part of that work is to deal with the sin problem. So not to be under sin, to be under grace.
A s tým súvisí aj vysporiadanie sa
practicing sin, however you want to define what that is, why are you doing that?
Akokoľvek to chceme definovať, otázka je prečo.
Why are we still practicing sin? If we're supposed to be under this model and not this one.
Ak máme byť už pod milosťou a nie pod hriechom.
Sorry? I thought we just said this was
Nevieme,
grace.
čo je to milosť?
Is that what our definition of grace is? That grace is this line that I've drawn.
Milosti? To je línia,
we might have expressed it that way, but isn't that what grace is? Sorry?
Probably haven't experienced it.
Yeah, okay, so you haven't experienced the line. You know about the line.
Čiže nemáme skúsenosť tej línie.
So when we're going to experience, why haven't we experienced it?
A prečo? Prečo nemáme tú skúsenosť?
Sorry? Everybody in this room is asking. I don't know. Have you asked to experience it?
Každý v tejto miestnosti si to pýta.
I don't think nobody would say, I didn't ask. I think everybody's asking. Brother Tyler.
I think it's probably a misconception of the model. You can't.
Je to asi neporozumenie toho modelu.
If you don't know what to do, or
keď nevieš, čo
what's
robiť,
expected or whatnot, then you can't possibly
alebo
expect to
čo
get
môžeš
there.
očakávať.
So you have to have a correct knowledge of something before you can.
Musíš mať správny model na to,
you have to have a correct knowledge before you have to correct experience. So this is what we're just going to.
Čiže musíš mať správne poznanie pred správnou skúsenosťou. To je vlastne to, čo poznáme, že musíme byť zapečatení duchovne aj intelektuálne.
It shows us the different. So knowledge precedes.
So when you come under, okay. So when you tell me when you come under grace, then if you're going to use that ladder, where in this line you're going to come under grace?
Takže kde pod touto líniou ty myslíš, že prídeš pod milosť?
From 9/11.
So okay. So you're now under grace. So if you're under grace, you're not under sin.
Takže od 9:11 si pod milosťou, už nie si pod hriechom.
No.
So why are we doing sin still?
Tak? A ona vraví nie.
If you claim to be here,
tak prečo hrešíme? Prečo stále ďalej hrešíme v 2017?
So it depends who you ask. It depends who you ask. If you ask some people who are on the message, they'll tell you
niektorých ľudí, ktorí sú v tomto posolstve,
properly come under grace. When you're really going to be here.
Naozaj sa dostanete pod milosť.
Why?
Až o polnoci.
So they say you have to be here.
Oni
to really
povedia,
be under
že musíme
grace.
prísť sem,
Why?
aby sme boli pod milosťou. Prečo?
Sorry?
No, I don't agree with it.
So why do you disagree with it?
Because
grace, part of the definition of grace is the power to
Naša
have victory
definícia
over
milosti
sin, or is the victory over sin.
Je moc prekonať hriech.
If that has to be at 9/11.
So
if you don't agree with them intellectually, you're experiencing what they're experiencing.
Ale máš skúsenosť,
you are experiencing what they're experiencing. They're still doing sin, and so are you.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Stále hrešíš a takisto aj oni.
Unless I misunderstood the question.
So why are you not experiencing something different to them?
Takže prečo nemáš inú skúsenosť ako oni?
I'm saying you should be experiencing something different.
I'm asking you personally, why are you not?
I didn't say I wasn't.
Okay, good. Brother, you disagreed with what he said. Oh.
No, that just got way massive confusing. When you're going with the midnight and the grace there, it doesn't make sense because you haven't prepared the 10 virgins. I mean, they didn't have the oil. It's midnight. You haven't prepared, so that can't be. Grace doesn't just appear then, and then you have more time to fill it up. So that can't be right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know, but your dialogue back and forth confused me, is what I was saying.
Okay, so we've put mental and intellectual, spiritual and moral. We're saying that the emotional aspect of our lives control the physical. We're now developing this to say that SDAs and the world are under the same condition, same problem, same solution. God's dealing with men is ever the same. I don't know how many of you agree with this, really agree with it. If you don't, you're not under reform line, I'll say that straight. If you don't believe, every Adventist, regardless of how nice they look, what condition they're in, they're under this problem, they're under sin.
Že sú stále pod hriechom, tak nie ste v reformnej línii.
All of them.
Všetci.
All of them. Because if they're not,
všetci.
Then what is this reform line? It's just a waste of time, isn't it?
Na čo by nám potom bola reformná línia, ak by to tak nebolo? Na čo by nám to bolo? To je iba nejaké štúdium.
His whole argument, which is why everyone hates him,
argument Pavla, a preto ho všetci nenávidia,
is because he's developing this argument.
Je kvôli tomu, že on spravil toto.
That's why people are going to hate us.
Vyvinul
because
tento
we're required
argument.
to develop and understand the same argument. That there's no salvation in Adventism.
Že my hovoríme, že nie je žiadne spasenie v Adventizme.
It's dangerous to be an Adventist. You're better off being a worldling.
Dokonca je nebezpečné byť adventista. Je lepšie byť vo svete.
Than here.
Je lepšie byť tu, ako tu.
Sorry?
You just said that.
Yes, they are equal. So they're equal, and the reason why is because someone said they think they're servants. The Gentiles know they're not servants. They know they're in rebellion. Adventists think they're servants. So when you tell them you're in the same condition as the world, they don't believe you. That's why their condition is the worst to be.
Preto ich stav je najhorší stav, ako môže byť.
That's why it's so toxic to be an Adventist.
Preto je toxické byť adventistom.
It's a dangerous place to be.
89. Je to nebezpečné miesto.
Because it's really hard to jump from here to here.
Lebo je veľmi ťažké prejsť odtiaľto sem. A ja si myslím, že mnohí z nás, ktorí sú v tomto posolstve,
don't
tvrdíme, že tomu veríme, v skutočnosti tomu neveríme. Že byť tu znamená byť na zlom mieste a v rovnakom stave ako je svet. A musíme ísť z tohto sem. Ak je to takto, musíme rozumieť, prečo sa správame tak, ako sa správame. A súčasťou tohto porozumenia je intelektuálne porozumenie toho, čo sa deje v našej prírodzenosti, čo sa zmenilo a čo sa nezmenilo. Ak prídeme k zlému výsledku, povieme, že s hriechom sa vysporiadame až tu. A dôvod, prečo je to až tu, je preto, že nemáme dostatok milosti v týchto dejinách, aby sme sa s tým vysporiadali. Väčšina z nás, či sme ochotní toto verbalizovať alebo nie, väčšina z nás tomuto takto verí. Aj keď to tak nepovieme, že nemáme dostatok milosti, aby sme sa mohli s tým vysporiadať teraz.
It brings my mind to the book of Isaiah chapter 6. And Isaiah experienced that, and Isaiah was saying that I am an unclean lip. So Isaiah realized that he is in the same condition as Israel. But in that time period, Isaiah received the grace of God because God has given him the grace now. So Isaiah is perfect in that time period.
Ale Pán mu vtedy dá milosť.
Amen.
Just a quick, the sin you're talking about, is that willful sinning or ignorant sinning? I think there's a big difference between those two.
Well, I'll put it here to remind us. Sins of ignorance or willful.
Nevedomosť a nevedomé hriechy a dobrovoľné hriechy.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your watch care over us. We ask and pray that you would be with us and help us, Lord, to have not only a clearer understanding intellectually, but to begin to enter into an experience that this reform line is designed to produce in every human being on this planet, whether we're Jews or whether we're Gentiles. Help us, Lord, to experience this. We know that you have given us the privilege of being priests so that we can be the vanguard of experiencing the everlasting gospel. In Jesus' name we pray.
Mohli naozaj
prežiť
toto večné evanjelium mene Ježiša. Amen.